Hi everyone, my name is Enya McNamara. I'm a Senior Solutions Engineer with Workvivo by Zoom, and I'm here today to introduce you to the platform. Workvivo is an employee experience platform which is centered around three core pillars: communication, the digital workplace, and employee engagement, all underpinned by analytics and insights. In terms of communication, we aim to ensure that your entire organisation, whether desk-based or frontline, stays informed and engaged with everything that's going on across the business. We give you a variety of different content types, like live streaming and podcasting, that allow you to easily connect with your workforce. The second pillar of Workvivo then centres all around the digital workplace. This centres around how we can better connect you to the tools and resources that you need to use on a daily basis. This includes static content like pages and documents which can be stored on the platform, quick links to policies and procedures, and also the ability to integrate with third-party tools like the Google or Microsoft stack. The final pillar of Workvivo then focuses all around employee engagement. So this centres around how to make sure that everyone feels recognised for the great work that they're doing, and also that their voice is heard as well. Everything then on Workvivo is underpinned by analytics and insights. These analytics reports will allow you to gain a clear understanding of how your employees are actually using the platform, and will also help you to better shape your comms strategy going forward. So without further ado, let's dive into the platform. So to kick things off, we are going to log into one of our generic environments. You can see that we're logged in as myself here, and you'll see some lovely generic purple branding, content and imagery, which is just going to be used for the purpose of the demo today. But of course, all the branding and imagery you see can be replaced with your own organization's branding. In terms of the plan for the demo today, I'm going to kick things off with a quick high-level overview of those three core pillars of Workvivo, both on desktop and on mobile, and then we can do a little bit of a deeper dive into them individually. So first off, the first pillar of Workvivo centres all around communication and how we can deliver up a really transformative communications experience for everyone across your organisation. What I'm scrolling through now is the activity feed, which is tailored to each employee that's logged in, based on your location, your department, and any spaces or groups that you might be a part of on the platform. So this means that everything that a person sees when they log into Workvivo is going to be tailored and interesting to them. You'll notice it's a very social, modern, dynamic experience with a lot of features and functionality that you probably recognise, like the ability to both react to content and also comment on that content as well. The idea here is that we're trying to foster more two-way, open communication across the organisation. We also allow you to communicate in a more top-down, carefully curated manner, through the likes of news articles, which help to bring to life your longer form company updates, podcasts, which allow you to communicate with the full organisation in a more audio manner, and also your events calendar, which help to highlight any of the exciting upcoming company events which might be happening. Then the second key pillar of Workvivo focuses on the digital workplace. So how we can better connect all of your employees to any apps they might need to use on a daily basis, quick links to resources they might need, like policies and procedures, through their own personalised mega menu, and of course the ability as well to store more static content on the platform itself, like documents, or the ability to build out static pages with that more internet style content as well. As you might remember from the introduction, we also do have the ability to integrate with those third-party tech stacks you're already using, like Google or Microsoft, allowing you to view your upcoming meetings for the day, search through your drive, or view your email directly inside of the Workvivo platform. On top of this, we offer an integrated search functionality, which means that you can search once across Workvivo and then surface information from any of those connected tools that you use, like Confluence, Jira, or even Box. Workvivo also fully builds out your people directory, so you can see exactly who you're working with from across the organisation, their picture, name, title and location. Of course, all of this information can be pulled from your HR system, Active Directory, Okta, and it will also allow you to populate your org chart based on this information as well. The final pillar then of Workvivo, as you might remember, is the engagement pillar. So this focuses all around how we can better connect your employees to the purpose and values of your organisation. The ability for you to foster more of a culture of recognition internally through awarding badges and giving shout-outs on the platform. And also the ability to build upon the sense of community and collaboration you have internally through the use of Workvivo groups or spaces. So that was just a quick look at Workvivo on desktop, but it's also important to note that Workvivo is a truly omni-channel solution that's available across desktop, mobile, and also TV. In terms of connecting with any of your frontline employees during the demo today, you'll see that we have all of the same end user features and functionality, both across desktop and mobile, because we want all employees to feel equally as informed and engaged. As I mentioned, Workvivo is a truly omni-channel solution, and this means that you can literally post something once, whether it's on desktop or mobile, and have it available across all ways of accessing the Workvivo platform, including Workvivo TV. Workvivo TV will allow you to automatically broadcast information, whether it's going to be posts, news articles, or even a live stream, directly to any TV screens you have set up across the business. And of course, the information that's displayed on the screens can be targeted based on the location that it's in. So that was just a quick overview of Workvivo across the 3 core pillars. Now what we're going to do is a little bit of a deeper dive into the communications pillar. So we're going to explore that more two-way communication through the activity feed, and also the ability to communicate in a more top-down manner through news articles, events, and podcasts. So we are back on the activity feed now, which is the place that you'll remember that everyone stays informed and engaged with what's going on across the business. And we want to make it as easy as possible for you to create this content as well as an admin. So if you wanted to, say, create a quick post, you could type whatever you'd like in the top posting box up here. Bring that post to life by embedding media like images, GIFs, videos, or attachments. Or indeed turn this post into a poll if you wanted to get some quick feedback on a particular topic. These posts can also be used to give recognition, so you can decide to tag a particular person, team, department, or location that you'd like to recognise for the great work that they do. On top of that again, all posts on Workvivo can be linked back to your company values. This will help you to demonstrate how employees are living by those values on a daily basis across the organisation. Most importantly though, is the ability for you to target the content that you send out on Workvivo. Right now we are creating a post, but this audience selection window will be visible for any content type you're creating, whether it's a news article, podcast, or even a page. You have the option here from an admin's perspective if you would like to target the entire organisation with content. Equally, you could also decide to target one or multiple spaces or groups on the platform that you think it's relevant to, or indeed one or multiple teams, departments, or locations that we can pull automatically from your HR system, AD, or Okta. It's important to note that Workvivo is a fully role-based access platform, so lots of different roles and permissions can be assigned out to individuals, and this includes roles regarding posting rights. This means that you can limit who has the ability to post to everyone. Equally, when you're creating a space, you can also limit if that space is open or closed to allow posting into, and equally, you can limit who can post to teams. To make it even easier, Workvivo has recently released Workvivo AI. Workvivo AI will allow you to use our Compose feature to easily create content which you can then post on the feed. Or indeed, you could also decide to use our Ask feature if you have a question about how to do something on the platform. Maybe you forget how to create a poll, simply ask the Workvivo AI and it will give you an answer based on the information in our Help Centre. Soon we'll also release the ability for you to train Workvivo AI on information stored in news articles you've published or pages as well. In terms of promoting important content then on the activity feed, this is something that you have full control over as an admin. Say for example this post from Claire here, if we wanted to promote this to the top of the feed, we could easily pin that post for a number of days. And this means that anyone who's in the audience for that post will see it as soon as they log into the platform. Equally, you could also decide to send out a push notification, notifying everyone to their mobile device to let them know an important post has been posted. And in the case of emergencies, you could also decide to send out a force push. This means that maybe in the case where there's a weather warning and your office is closed, you could decide to send out that force push notification and everyone will be notified even if their notifications have been turned off. Around the activity feed then, you'll notice that there is a lot of real estate available to you for promoting important content. Firstly, at the top of the feed here, we have what we call billboards. These billboards can easily link to content that's internal to Workvivo or external to Workvivo, and they can even be targeted at particular parts of the organisation, so these billboards are only visible to certain people. Equally, the widgets that you see along the right-hand side of the feed, you can also determine the content that's featured in them, like news articles, podcasts, or pages. In terms of the algorithm running behind the scenes then on the activity feed, of course you can also influence this as an admin. You have the ability to actually create highlighted accounts on the platform, which will be the most important voices across your organisation. This might be, say, your CEO or your communications team, and once an account has been defined as highlighted, the posts from that account will automatically be pushed to the top of the feed. Equally, you will also see posts at the top of your feed from connected accounts based on the org structure. So say, for example, posts from your manager or your manager's manager. In terms of more top-down content then on the platform, for those longer form company updates, they can absolutely live in a news article. These news articles can have embedded media, like videos and images, and it's also really important to note here that Workvivo can support over 75 different languages for the automatic translation of this user-generated content. We also support over 35 different languages for the entire localization of the platform, meaning any labels that you see can be translated into your own native language. Equally, when you upload a video to Workvivo, the video can have captions generated for you in multiple languages, and even if you live stream, you can also have captions generated on that live stream too as it's running. From an admin's perspective then, we want to make it super easy for you to create these news articles. We give you a workflow approval process, which means that certain people can be content writers in the organisation and have all of the content, those news articles they've created, submitted to an admin or an editor for review before they're published. We also give you a bank of templates that you can choose from for easily putting this content together from scratch. In terms of audio then, Workvivo does support podcasts on the platform. These can be your own company podcasts, or indeed you can also decide to import public podcasts you think might be relevant to your employees. If an employee sees a podcast they're interested in, they can hit the subscribe button, and then you as an admin can view analytics on each individual podcast episode which has already been released. Events then, as I mentioned, will all live in your events calendar. Here you'll have an overview of everything which is upcoming over the coming weeks. These events can easily be linked to a Zoom meeting or a Microsoft Teams meeting. We don't discriminate between the two. You could even link to a Google Meet. And of course, you have the ability as well to RSVP for any events that are upcoming, and indeed add this to your own personal calendar. These events can be held in person, of course, they can be held over a meeting link, or indeed they can also be live streamed directly across the Workvivo platform as well. If you have live streaming permissions on the platform, you'll see this Go Live button. This will allow you to either broadcast natively on the platform using our native live streaming functionality, or broadcast using another app like Zoom, Microsoft Teams, OBS, or Wirecast. In terms of broadcasting natively on Workvivo, this is a great way for, say, your CEO to automatically connect with an instant broadcast to the entire organisation in just a few clicks. Maybe you've gotten some great financial results, your CEO is in the back of a cab, wants to jump on and say well done to everyone. The native live streaming functionality is a great tool to enable that. In terms of broadcasting using another app then, this is fantastic for, say, if you wanted to run a town hall and then stream it across Workvivo. You can give the live stream a title, of course, just like everything on Workvivo, target exactly who should be able to see it, and a recording of that live stream will also be saved to the activity feed for you to view a little bit later on. This is especially beneficial for your frontline employees. They won't have to go through the hassle of going to their calendar and joining a meeting link from there on their phone. They'll simply get a push notification through the Workvivo mobile app, which they can click, and then they'll be automatically inside the live stream taking part. As a communications leader then, we want to give you a toolkit which you can use to get the most out of Workvivo and also make your life a little bit easier. This includes the ability to view all upcoming scheduled content on the content calendar, and of course you'll be able to filter this content by content type like posts, events or news. On top of this again, you can also leave notes on the calendar here for other members of your comms team to allow better collaboration. On top of this again, you can actually run internal comms campaigns directly through the Workvivo platform and have all of the information in relation to these campaigns grouped behind the scenes here, along with the ability to view aggregated analytics in relation to the success of those campaigns. Switching over to mobile then, from the perspective of your frontline employees, we want to make sure that they feel equally as informed and engaged. So you'll notice here that this is a very similar experience to the experience you saw on desktop. Of course, you can browse through the activity feed and see all of that content which has been targeted to you based on location, department, and any of those spaces that you're a part of. Equally, you can also browse through the more top-down, carefully curated content, like those longer form news articles, the ability for you to participate in upcoming events through RSVPing and adding to your own personal calendar, and of course the ability as well to listen to podcast episodes when you're on the way to work. In terms of more instant communication then, we facilitate the ability to create group chats, one-to-one chats. We support the ability to send attachments like images, videos, files, GIFs, recording. You can even send voice notes as well if you want to. And we do have video and voice calling capabilities, which is fully powered by the Zoom SDK. In terms of the second pillar of Workvivo then, this focuses around making sure that everyone has the resources that they need at their fingertips. So connection to third-party tools, but also the ability to access that more static content, as you'll remember. So switching over to the desktop site again, we can explore this in a little bit more detail. Firstly, to touch on the ability to use Workvivo as that front door to the rest of your organization. Through the mega menu, you're going to have a curated list of resources based on your role, location, and department, which means you'll only see links to the resources that you actually need that are actually relevant to you. Of course, you have the ability as well to star the resources that you use the most often to create your own customized quick links list. The Workvivo application can also be used as your app launcher, with again, these applications being targeted based on the location and department that you're in. As previously mentioned, we can also integrate with the Google or Microsoft stack, but if there is any third-party tool that you would like to further integrate with that we don't have an out-of-the-box connector for, we have an open suite of APIs and webhooks that you can use for pushing content in or out of Workvivo. An example of that that's used quite often is our notifications API, which allows you to push notifications directly from third-party tools into the Workvivo application. From a frontline employee's perspective then, the Workvivo mobile app acts as that digital hub or portal in the pocket of all of your employees, connecting them to those resources they need. So of course, they're still going to have access to their mega menu. They'll have the ability to access any applications they might need to launch from their mobile device. And of course, the ability as well to view static content like documentation directly inside of the platform without even needing to download. It's also important to note at this stage that Workvivo is a fully modular solution. We have turned on absolutely everything for the purpose of this demo. But if, for example, you're already using a third-party document storage solution, you can simply turn off the document storage on Workvivo. The final pillar of Workvivo then, as you'll remember, focuses all around employee engagement. So now we're going to focus on how we can make sure that employees feel recognised for the great work that they do, and also the ability as well to have their voice heard through the ability to run surveys through the platform. In terms of engagement, we want to better connect all of your employees to the purpose and values of your organisation, so we give you a dedicated values page. Here you'll see all of your organization values configured here along with your mission statement, and if you click on any of those values, you'll see all the posts from the main activity feed which have been tagged back to that particular value, really showing at a high level how employees live by those values on a daily basis. In terms of recognition then, we support that in a few different ways. On the activity feed, in a more automated way, when it's someone's birthday or their work anniversary, an automatic post can be created and posted to the feed for everyone to like and comment on. Equally, more spontaneously, you could decide to give a shout out to your colleagues, as you can see that Claire has done here to Megan and the amazing marketing team for the great work that they've done on this video. This is a fantastic way to publicly recognise your colleagues for the great work that they do. More formally then on the platform, you can also award badges. These badges can be used to represent the different skills employees have, the different qualifications that they might have, and you can also use these badges to implement a little bit of gamification in the platform. Through gamification, you can actually define custom rules behind the scenes. That could say something like, as soon as somebody has received 10 shoutouts, they'll automatically get this badge. Or as soon as they've reached 5 years of service, they'll equally get a badge as well. If you're interested in seeing who has won a particular badge or who has a particular skill associated with that badge, you can simply go to the badge page. And then if you're interested in seeing their profile, you can simply click on it and you can see all of the badges which they have previously won. More formally again, you can also decide to run full awards nomination processes on the platform. So what we're going to do now is switch over to James's profile to show you how that works. On James's profile, you'll notice that his banner looks a little bit different to the banner we had on my profile, and that's because he hasn't nominated anyone yet for the Employee of the Quarter Awards. Today I'm going to be really nice to myself. I am going to nominate myself for this award, and then we can also link that back to your company values. On top of this again, you can also prompt an individual to give a reason for why the person should win, and then as soon as the nomination has been submitted, you'll see that the banner goes back to normal. Of course, these awards are fully customizable. It doesn't have to say Employee of the Quarter. You can design these awards process around whatever sort of internal awards processes you already have. In terms of employees having their voice heard, of course you can run quick polls, but you can also run longer form surveys as well, like you can see here. Before taking a survey, you can see how long it's going to take, how many questions there are, and also if it's anonymous or not. From here then, you can see that we have a variety of different question and answer types that you can use when you're actually designing these surveys. Of course, these surveys can be targeted at a very specific subset of your organisation depending on your needs. Workvivo has also recently released Employee Insights, which is our employee listening module. Through Employee Insights, we allow you to run targeted pulse surveys which will track the 12 key drivers of employee engagement. We will bubble up the drivers which need attention across your organisation, and also the parts of the organisation where it might need a little bit more attention as well, along with the areas where you're doing quite well. On top of this, we'll give you an engagement score. As you can see, it's 8.3 at the moment, and you can also easily see how often these surveys will be run. In terms of those 12 key drivers, you can see that they're factors like well-being, productivity, culture and values, and we've designed the entire listening suite in conjunction with organisational psychologists. Employee Insights will aim to give you a really clear understanding of how your employees across different parts of the organisation are tracking against those key drivers, and a great place to see an overview of that is through the radar report. You can see here, for example, that Paris is not tracking well in relation to engagement, so you can simply click on that segment of the radar report and see some comments which have been left in relation to it. Soon we'll also be releasing sentiment analysis, so we'll be able to automatically monitor and analyse the different comments which have been left through those employee engagement surveys. Finally then, still on the topic of analytics, we do have the ability for you to view analytics on each individual piece of content on the platform. You can see the breakdown here by location, department, and also the device type that was used to actually view it. Even more powerfully, we also do have full platform-wide analytics, and we give you a variety of different dashboards that you can drill into. The snapshot report here will give you a bird's eye view in terms of engagement on the platform, and then each subsequent dashboard will get into the details a little bit more. The activation analytics report will show you how many people have logged into the platform for the first time, downloaded the mobile app, added their profile picture, and this is a key report that we'll be monitoring during the onboarding process to ensure that you receive the highest onboarding rates. Usage analytics then on Workvivo will allow you to track trends and engagement over different time periods, who your most engaged user groups are, who your least engaged user groups are, and of course we will allow you through the filters to actually filter by the different teams, departments and locations across the business. The content analytics report then will allow you to gain true understanding of what content types are resonating the most across the organisation, whether that's going to be maybe written content like news articles, or you might notice a trend that there's a lot more engagement with posts that have videos attached. This report will allow you to easily shape your comms strategy going forward. Finally then, we do have a governance report, which will allow you to view all the different roles, responsibilities and permissions that have been assigned out across the platform to ensure the correct people have the correct roles. So that was just a quick overview of Workvivo, both across desktop, mobile and also Workvivo TV. I hope you enjoyed the demo, and if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask.